Shrinitai Sachisuta, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra, Radha Parishishvara, Ki Jai. Okay. So, from 18 to 28, I will read through. Translation based in English, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
The breezes blowing in the streets of the city bore the fragrance of the flowers falling from the hair of the woman of the demigods. So we are describing the city built by Vishvakarma. That's the city of King Indra. And Bali is now attempting to capture it. Actually, it's written just previously, the demoniac soldiers actually departing, and now they make the entire surface of the world trembling. So now we have a description of that city which will be attacked. Apsaras passed on the streets which were covered with the white fragrant smoke of aguru incense emanating from windows with golden filigree. What is a filigree?
How do you spell?
E-F-I-L-I-G-R-E-E.
It's an ornament work of the wire formed with delicate tracery.
Okay, thank you so much. So, the city was shaded by canopies decorated with pearls, and the domes of the palaces had flags of pearl and gold. The city always resounded with the vibration of peacocks, pigeons, and bees. And above the city flew airplanes full of beautiful women who constantly chanted auspicious songs that were very pleasing to the ear. The city was filled with the sounds of mridangas, conchas, kettle drums, flutes, and well-tuned stringed instruments, all playing in concerts. There was constant dancing, and the Gandharvas sang. The combined beauty of Indrapuri defeated beauty personified. No one who was sinful, envious, violent toward other living entities, cunning, falsely proud, lusty, or greedy could enter that city. The people who lived there were all devoid of these faults.
Even in the heaven.
Bali Maharaj, who was the commander of numberless soldiers, gathered his soldiers outside the abode of Indra and attacked it from all directions. He sounded the counsel given him by his spiritual master Shukracharya, thus creating a fearful situation for the woman protected by Indra. Seeing Bali Maharaj's indefatigable endeavor and understanding his motive, King Indra, along with the other demigods, approached his spiritual master, Brihaspati, and spoke as follows. My lord, our old enemy, Bali Maharaj, now has new enthusiasm, and he has obtained such astonishing power that we think that perhaps we cannot resist its prowess. No one anywhere can counteract this military arrangement of Bali's. It now appears that Bali is trying to drink up the entire universe with his mouth, lick up the 10 directions with his tongue, and raise fire in every direction with his eyes. Indeed, he has risen like the annihilating fire knows as Samvartaka. Kindly inform me, what is the cause for Bali Maharaj's strength, endeavor, influence, and victory? How has he become so enthusiastic? Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigod, said, "Oh, Indra, I know the cause for your enemies becoming so powerful. The Brahmana descendant of Bhrigu Muni, being pleased by Bali Maharaj, their disciple, endowed him with such extraordinary power." Purport. Oh, we will read the Sanskrit. Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Janami Magavan Shatra.
Janami Magavan Shastro.
Unater Asya Karanam.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Shishya Yupabhritam Tejo.
Shishyayopabritam Tejo.
Brigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Rigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Shishya Yupabhritam Tejo.
Shishyayopabritam Tejo.
Brigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Rigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Unnate Asya Karanam.
Shishya Yopabhritam Tejo.
Shishyayopabritam Tejo.
Brigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Rigubhir Brahmavadibhi. Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Shishyayopabritam Tejo.
Shishya Yopabhritam Tejo.
Rigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Brigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Janame Magavan Chatro.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Unnate Karanam.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Shishyopabritam Tejo.
Shishya Yopabhritam Tejo.
Ragubir Brahmavadibhi.
Brigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Janami Magavan Chatro.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Unnate Rasya Karanam.
Shishyayopabritam Tejo.
Shishyayopabritam Tejo.
Riguvir Brahmavadibhi.
Rigubhir Brahmavadibhi.
Translation word for word. Shri Guru Vacha.
Shri Guru Vacha.
Brihaspati said.
Brihaspati said,
Janami.
Janami,
I know.
I know.
Magavan.
Magavan,
O Indra.
O Indra,
Shatro.
Shatro
Of the enemy.
of the enemy,
Nate.
Unnate
Of the elevation.
of the elevation,
Asya.
Asya
Of him.
of him,
Karanam. The
Karanam,
cause.
the cause,
Shishyaya.
Shishyaya,
Into this disciple.
unto the disciple,
Upabritam.
Upabritam,
Endowed.
endowed,
Teja.
Teja,
Power.
power,
Brigubhi.
Bhrigu,
By the descendants of Brigu.
by the descendants of Bhrigu,
Brahmavadibhi.
Brahmavadibhi,
All powerful Brahmanas.
all powerful Brahmanas.
Translation by Zivin guys. Abai Shalana Ravinda Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj.
Jai.
Brihaspati, The spiritual master of the demigods said, O Indra, I know the cause for your enemies becoming so powerful. The Brahmana descendants of Bhrigu Muni, being pleased by Bali Maharaj, their disciple, endowed with him with such extraordinary power. Purport. Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, informed Indra, ordinarily, Bali and his forces could not achieve such a strength. But it appears that the Brahmana descendants of Bhrigu Muni, being pleased with Bali Maharaj, endowed them with this spiritual power. In other words, Brihaspati informed Indra that Bali Maharaj's prowess was not his own, but that of his exalted guru, Shukracharya. We sing in our daily prayers, Yasa prasadat bhagavat prasado, Yasa prasadam nagati kutopi. By the pleasure of the spiritual master, one can get extraordinary power, especially in spiritual advancement. The blessings of the spiritual master are more powerful than one's personal endeavor for such advancement. Nautam Das Thakur therefore says, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Ekya Arna Koriyo Mane Asha. Especially for spiritual advancement, one should carry out the bona fide order of the spiritual master. By the parampara system, one can thus be endowed with the original spiritual power coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Evam paramparam praptam imam rajashayo vidu. Om Agyantimirandasya Ganangala Sharakaya Shakshur Vinitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Dritam Cha E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vachakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first, Indra is called Madhavan. That's a name which means opulent. So in the scriptures we will find many Madhavan and Bhagavan. Actually, Indra is sometimes even called Bhagavan. Not only Madhavan, but Bhagavan, the possessor of the 6 opulences. Sometimes Narada Muni as well is called Bhagavan. And sometimes people who are endowed with special powers can be also referred to Bhagavan. Even in the 5th canto, Brahma is called Adi Purush. So the first of the personalities. Purush can mean also simply personality. So sometimes great honor are given to demigods. and such honors could be taken by mundane people to be the strict absolute truth. But actually they are flower rewards. Because it's mentioned that in the city of Indra never exists any pride,
No lust.
no lust, no pride, nothing like this. However, we've seen across the Bhagavatam, Indra is depicted often as the failure among the devotees. Of course, we understand that he is used by the Lord as an example to teach us. And we understand that Indra is living one manvanta. Therefore, he is living 311 or 15 millions of years. So in 100 years, we can do so many mistakes. So what to speak of 300 millions years? So in those 300 millions years, Bhagavatam is taking the few faults of Indra. Actually, he is genuine and honest devotees, but generally is depicted as someone who is not on the stage of pure devotional service, and is sometimes described as afflicted by lust, afflicted by envy, afflicted by pride. So we understand that when Bhagavatam is presenting the city of Indra as a place for advanced spiritualists totally deprived from faults, it's a general indication, or it's like not including possible exception, or it's general atmosphere. But sometime, from time to time, then the pleasure of the senses kicks in, and they may go out of this mode of goodness. The modes are changing. So this is the general understanding, but from time to time, people who are in goodness from that position and go into the mode of passion. And then, like Indra, they commit offenses to their spiritual master, Brihaspati. Sometimes they do not appreciate the prasadam they have received, like a garland. This has been described. Or sometimes Indra is even depicted as not paying obeisances when his guru comes. Sometimes it's depicted in the 6th canto, the cause of Ritrasura's birth. So it's described that in Indra's palace, people were chanting his glories, how he has defeated demons, who is controlling the upper planetary systems, and how he is the grandbrother of the Supreme Lord, because he is Indra, and we know that there is a Vamana, Upendra. So many glories, and Upendra is even paying obeisances to his older brother Indra. So much respect is offered to him, and someone like the Apsaras, the Gandharvas, they are dancing and mimicking or depicting by dance and theater all his feats. So when you are a king like this, you can imagine how much pride you can, build, because everybody is constantly describing you as the overruler of the planetary system, particularly on the same level as the Supreme Lord. And then, by listening to our own glory, then fall down comes. So that's the problem here. It's actually mentioned here in the few verses that I read, that in that city, Gandharvas were actually singing sweet songs. It was actually one of the reasons for Narada Muni to fall, to to sing sweet songs, but not about the good persons. Actually, it was an offense to chant the glories of the demigods in front of the Lord, and therefore he had to take birth again as the son of a Shudra. So here we can see that inappropriate kirtan and over glorification of people are a great threat to them. So sometimes we can see, oh Prabhuji, you are so senior, the holy dust from your lotus feet will purify my consciousness and I will never take birth again. Oh Bhagavan, you are so opulent, you must have been a pure devotee in your past life, because by your presence you are so shining, I cannot even see now the daylight. So many glorification we can receive, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if we really take those to heart, then there is a great chance that we become proud and fall on like Indra, or start to glorify the wrong personalities like Narada Muni and forget the Lord. So be careful. And so it's mentioned Magavan. So my dear disciple, Magavan, the strength of Bali Maharaj is not his own. That's really a great important point. We will spend the rest of the time on it. The strength of the disciple is made by others. The strength of the spiritualist, either being a Kshatriya, Vaishya, either material opulences, other knowledge of the Brahman, or other devotion, pure devotion, is received in great quantity, not only by our own endeavor, but mostly and actually uniquely by the service of others, of exalted personalities. So it's mentioned, Prithu Maharaj is saying in the 4th canto, Nisparidashtakartsnyena bhagavad birgina rubi saduchistam ime sarvam hatmanam sahakim dade. That's a wonderful verse. And Prithu Maharaj is addressing Sanat Kumar. And he's addressing Nisparidashtakartsnyena bhagavad birgina rubi. The Bhagavat, the pure devotees, they are recognized by the fact that when they are speaking, it's supported by evidences of the scriptures and it's fully realized. Prithu Maharaj is saying, Sadhuchistam ime sarvam. Sadhu, Uchishta. Uchishta is the remnants of the sadhu. Sarva. Everything, Prithu Maharaj says, the kingdom that I've received, the opulences, my strength, my glories, my position, the respect that I receive, my knowledge, my pure devotion, everything has been received all my life, everything that I possess, including myself, Atmanam, including my own self, is just sadhuchista. It's just remnants of the sadhus. If we consider this, then we cannot become really puffed up of our position. So there is a saying in ISKCON, someone is saying your name plus ki equal Jai, then you have 3 seconds to give the credit to your spiritual master. So if I say Vaibhav Prabhu ki Jai, then you have to say okay. Okay.
Because that's another thing. If I say Guru Maharaj's name, then groupism and other things. That's
Well, at least
in the mind.
You can do that. You can say Gurudev.
Yeah.
Gurudev ki Jai.
Yeah.
Or Parampar ki Jai.
Yeah.
Or Prabhupada ki Jai. And like this, everybody will understand.
Yeah.
But that's a great way to never become victim of the false ego. Because in Bhagavad Gita it says, Prakite kriyamanani gune karmasi sarvasha ankara vimudatma Kartam iti manyate. The one who is considering, who is identifying falsely, thinks is the controller. But actually, the modes are in action. So, whatever credit, whatever good things I'm doing, this is the credit of my spiritual master and Parampara. Whatever wrong things I'm doing, this is my mistake induced by the modes and my false ego. So that's the way we should think. Actually, when that verse says, Kartamiti manyate, who is the false ego? This is the mind. So this false ego is my mind. This is my speculation. This is my concoction. This is my mistake. So like this, we can praise the Vaishnava and we can cultivate humility by taking the faults on ourselves, not putting the faults on our spiritual master. Otherwise, then we commit great offense. So, sadhuchistam ime sarvam, whatever we have done is due in ISKCON, for example, to Prabhupada's mercy and actually the succession of compassion and of preaching done in Parampara. So, let's say, it's not my room, it's Prabhupada's room, or ISKCON facilities given by Prabhupada. It's not my Brahmana thread, it's my spiritual master compassion upon me, who decided I was so fallen that I could not have enough taste for the holy name, so he initiated me as a Brahmana. It's not me singing in the kirtan. Actually, it's my spiritual master who is engaging me in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and together we do a kirtan. Sometimes we have when we say you lead a kirtan, actually we do a kirtan. One day someone asked to Indra, that was a super kirtan. You did a super wonderful kirtan. And Indra answered, yeah, we were in a good kirtan. We were together, and the public were 50%, and the instrument were the other half with me. So we were both equal. So like this, it's not my service. The service that has been given to me is actually a great manifestation of compassion from the Vaishnava, since I have no qualities by myself. Therefore, we have seen also in our practical life how we have been changed and how we have accumulated the remnants of the sadhus, and all those sadhuchistam transformed us. When we thought, I'm intelligent, I am focused, I am energetic, I am enthusiastic, and so on. If it's not given by a sadhu in this life, actually it's given at least in the past life. So in any case, it's always checkmate. It's always come back to the association of the devotees. So Prithu is saying, with folded hands, Ivari dirisho gati ratmava dekantato nigami bi pratipaditana. The Bhagavat, when they speak, they give their conviction. Not only the words, but the conviction they have. Ekantato nigamibi pratipaditana. And they give also reference to the scriptures. And Prithu Maharaj says, may they be always satisfied in their service. Vinoda Patram. The only things that I can give back to them is my joint pawns in awe and reverence, asking them to engage me in their service. Actually, the one who is pretending to decrease the debt he has for the sadhus is a joker. Understand, joker? He's doing humor, because there is no possibility for me to decrease my debt to the sadhus. Vinoda upatram. This is two words that can be separated in Sandhi and means two meaning different. So he's a joker. So when we offer water to the Ganges, we only give back the same water that flows from the Ganges. So in the same way, we are receiving everything from the sadhus, and the only thing we can do is giving back to them what they have given us. In the same way that we offer the water of the Ganges. You understand? So this is our only duty. The only way we can hope to satisfy them is to give them back what they have given to us as a present. So not only we will receive spiritual power, here in the purport Prabhupada says, by serving Shukacharya, Bali Maharaj obtained spiritual power. But we understand that actually it's not totally spiritual power. It's actually a Brahmanical power. Or let's say Brahmanical power that allows one to receive extraordinary capabilities, but this does not imply spiritual devotion, because Shukracharya is called Brahmavadi. Therefore, what he can give is only Brahman realization. It has some spiritual potency, but here we understand that Bali Maharaj, the spiritual potency that he has is actually austerities, tejas from Shukracharya. So when we hear spiritual power, we understand Brahmanical power and strength. So if we have to look at ISKCON, Prabhupada did a special focus on the morning program on spiritual masters in the Gaudiya Math instituted by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. They were not singing Samsara Davana Lila Loka. They were singing another song, which is more referring to Vrindavan, Krishna Lila and so on. But Prabhupada decided we won't chant that. Rather, we will chant glorification of the spiritual master. Not only that, but after that, we will do a Guru Puja. That's also a speciality of ISKCON. Not only that, but we will do puja to the Acharya of ISKCON. So all this was instituted because Prabhupada understood the devotion, to be fixed on the instruction of the spiritual master is the guarantee that we become successful in our spiritual life. Because Prabhupada, by experience, he have witnessed this. among all the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, Prabhupada will say, I'm the only son, all others are daughter. They have not inherited the property and the spiritual power of my spiritual master to the complete extent. Why? Because they have not been faithfully keeping the order of my spiritual master on their head. They have been interested in other fruits, in other goals, meaning sometimes rooms, money, followers, all those things are just comfort, sadhana. But the order of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur were supposed to take out the Indian devotees and send them to the West, out of their comfort zone. And Srila Prabhupada was the only fulfiller of that desire. Therefore, he understood why I have been blessed with Krishna Shakti to propagate all over the world among the mlechas and outcasts. It is because I have been devoted with one potent attention to my spiritual master. So the secret of my success, I will give that to my disciples, and I will institute that as the process of self-realization in ISKCON. So that's why we have such specificity in ISKCON, and why we put so much emphasis on Guru Nishta. Now, we'll finish on that point. There is a danger to be over, let's say, fanatically dedicated to our own guru. What is that danger? It's called groupism. So sometimes you may have seen, the thing is, I'm just serving my guru. Therefore, I don't need to give money to ISKCON. I don't need to serve the temple. I just serve my guru. And by serving my guru, because he's a representative of Prabhupada, then that's all. That's all I need. I don't need to do a personal endeavor on top of that for the institution in general. Therefore, we may, with this mentality, we may have so many disciples around, but nobody comes to the temple to help the community, or nobody is giving money because they think, I will give 100% everything to my guru, and that's it. I have done my job and my part. So this is called groupism, and by service to the guru, we have also to include service to the community, service to the body of Prabhupada. If we only dedicate our time to the service of Guru, to the exclusion of the service of the devotees and of the institution, then we may start to create our own branch. And then we will start to divide ISKCON. So that's also the thing that we should not mistake. Otherwise, then we will start to belong to sub-movement inside ISKCON. Like, I belong to that part of ISKCON, I belong to this part of ISKCON. Or my guru is so advanced, I don't need to serve other people, and we start to disrespect, and ISKCON will be divided. So that's not what we want. We want to respect our gurus and also to serve the Vaishnavas in general, to please Prabhupada. So that's all. Is there any question? Yeah?
In the beginning of you said that about pride.
Fire?
Pride.
Pride, yes.
So sometimes we do the service, sometimes we think that we don't know that we get a pride. It will be in the subtle mode.
Mm.
So another Prabhu or some other devotee says that, then only we can know that. We also don't know. So how to overcome that subtle pride? So we are doing nice service. I am the great. But we never think like that. But subtly it comes. So the other devotee rectifies.
Mhm.
So how to overcome that? We should know that subtle pride is in us.
Well, the devotees will tell you, no?
Yeah, he telling, but
You have to that means when he says something, then you have to accept the rectification.
before we cannot know that. That's all.
Yes, you will know that by being introspective.
Introspective.
Yes, that means you need to be conscious of yourself, or conscious of your nature, conscious of your mind, your subtle body, self-conscious. That's you should be the observer of your own flows and ideas and thoughts. You should be clear about that. We should not have any thought that are beyond the scope of our observation and analysis. That means whatever inside is going on, I should have a record of that. You understand? If I'm thinking this about that, this about him, if I'm planning this and that, I should have a record. It should be in my memory, and I should know I'm thinking like this. I think like this about this and that. That's my position. By being self-conscious like this, having all the record about what you think, what is your position, then you can adjust as well by the advice of the devotees. And according to the Shastras, you know what should be your position. I should not try to criticize. I should not think myself superior to others. I should not try to attract the attention. And if you see those things going on inside, then you should take note. Okay, I have these things to correct. I have to work on myself now. You understand, isn't it? We should be the observer of our own patterns. And when we see our patterns, we should act upon them. If we don't do it anyway, Krishna, by the intermediate of the devotees, will do it. But we should be gradually become so lucid and that we can more and more perceive the subtleties of our weaknesses, of our own false ego. The more we become purified by the process, the more the mirror can reflect our own self. And the more we can see the things that we have to work on. So naturally, the beginning we may be confused, but with practice and by training we will be able to see more and more what we are made of and what we are to work on, especially. Everybody has different weaknesses, so you have to assess yourself.
we need to be humble, like most of devotees say, the humble, so that we should present before the devotees, or in the mind we should think I am a low person and came from such a background. Krishna is making me to serve like that. We need to think like this. Even if you think like this, sometimes you get discouraged. Oh, I am such a...
You should think yourself not better than others, less good than others, but you should act more intelligently than others. So think yourself a fool, but act like a genius. You understand? Is it good? You act intelligently despite the fact that you think I'm not so good. Okay? Because to think yourself low does not mean that you have to act bad. Actually, to think yourself, I'm not good, means you want to do better.
Better.
That should be your aim. Okay, I still have this to correct. Okay, I still have this standard to achieve. Okay, let's do better. And it stays in Bhagavad Gita, Dampo Darpo Bimanascha Krutat Paryucha Evacha. This is the tendency, the demoniac tendencies in the 16th chapter, it's mentioned. So there is 3 forms of pride. Dambo. I pose myself as, I put my qualities, I display my qualities and I hide my weaknesses. And I pose as better as I am. So I'm presenting myself differently than who am I, really. That's a form of pride. Because we have to be ourselves. We don't have to, put mask on. We should also accept our weaknesses, and we should not try to hide them and show only the bright side. We should be as we are. So to be humble means also, this is who I am, with my own weaknesses. This is not the fault of others. This is like that. So one form is Dambo. Darpo. You think yourself superior to others. So this is demoniac mentality. Because on the spiritual platform, we are all perfect and complete. So there is no point of saying I'm better than someone. Actually, ultimately, beyond time, we are all meant to be perfect in the service of the Lord. So there's no point to think about that. So you can see, oh, I'm thinking myself superior to others. That's actually demoniac mentality, a form of pride. And the third one is to be manash, is to search for recognition. I want to be noticed. So this form of false ego, we do our service. If we do it nicely, just to attract praise, then we have to notice this is not pure devotional service. There is a contamination there. So you have to be aware of what's your inner motives, and as soon as you spot them, then work on them.
Thank you. And sometimes you are telling me, just now you said, we need to act as intelligent and we need to think low or fool like something you do. But sometimes when you think low, our inner consciousness also says that you are becoming such a low, then it affects our sadhana,
Yes.
then there is a chance that we may go to a wrong side.
Yes.
So how to...
That's why the devotees, they have, despite the fact that they are pure and perfect in all aspects, they think themselves the lowest. But there is a reason for that. It's because by thinking themselves low, they pray intensely for grace to descend. And by thinking yourself low and eligible for the grace of Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who can elevate the lowest, then you have hope to change. So there is a mixture, a balance between thinking ourselves incapable by our own endeavor, and have the hope by serving the sadhus and Krishna that we will receive the grace needed for our transformation. So there is a balance between my lack of own strength and the hope that people will give me the strength that I need. So again, we are just made of the strength of others. So you may hope that by kind service, by attention, by actually the tolerance and the compassion of the Vaishnavas, they will give you what you need to become what you want. And by desire, naturally, Krishna will inspire as well.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri
Jai.
Bali Maharaj ki,
Jai.
Gurudev Bhagavan ki,
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare,
Hare Nandan Tapu
Jai
ki.
Srila Prabhupada.